I got them dreads bustin', cause I might wanna let my hair down.
Hey everyone, it's Vanessa and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be discussing the different lock types and also the different twisting methods. I don't know about you, but I've always wondered what the actual different types of dreadlocks there are. For those of you who didn't know, in the lock community, there are a variety of different kinds of locks. I started my locks 11 years ago, but I honestly had no idea that there were so many different types of locks and different ways to retwist locks as well. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down each of the different lock types and also the different methods for retwisting locks. So let's get into it. So after doing my own research and based off of my own lock journey experience, when it comes to defining lock types, there's a certain spectrum that a dreadhead can fall on or fall like in between. I'm just going through like the basic types of locks that there are, the locks that I've seen, the most common locks that you would probably see yourself. If you feel that I've missed any information, if I've missed anything, feel free to comment down below and educate all of us because we're all here to learn. I definitely don't know everything there is to know about locks. So the first lock type that I'm going to be talking about are sister locks. Visually, they're basically very tiny micro locks. They're very versatile, very easy to style. Sister locks should be done by a certified sister lock specialist or a consultant just because of how unique and how complex the process is. If sister locks are done wrong, they can result in thinning and breakage. You definitely need a certified sister locks consultant to install your locks or to retwist, keep up, maintain your sister locks. Because you need a real specialist in order to achieve sister locks, they do run a lot more expensive than regular locks or traditional locks. From the research that I gathered, I don't know if this is 100% true, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but sister locks can run anywhere between $500 and $800 for installation and $100 and up for retwisting. Sister locks are a lot easier to style because of their lighter weight. They can kind of be styled similar to looser hair textures. Sister locks can also be started with relaxed or natural hair. So the next type of locks that I'm going to be talking about are traditional locks. When I did my research, it's like a lot of people had a lot of different opinions and a lot of different labels for these type of locks. This is just going to be my interpretation, okay? So there are different types of traditional locks as well. So I'm just going to start off with freeform locks. Now, freeform locks are the OG of locks. They are the original, they are organic, these are the OG locks, okay? When you think of freeform locks, I want you to think of like Bob Marley, Black when he had his locks, The Weeknd when he had his locks. Think of those types. Freeform locks are a lot less difficult to maintain. I mean, it's not really much to maintain at all. You're pretty much just washing your hair, moisturizing your hair, and letting it grow. Like, you're just leaving your hair alone when you have freeform locks. Freeform locks are also very unique, kind of like sister locks, very unique style, very unique look to them. They don't have an exact shape at all. In fact, when you have freeform locks, you can have locks that are super tiny or super huge. It really doesn't matter. Freeform locks are not twisted to the root at all. They're pretty like thick, chunky at the root. Have more like a much more of a matted look. Freeform locks are more so associated with like Rastafarians and their religious beliefs. They cost like little to nothing, honestly, to maintain. You just gotta make sure you want to moisturize your hair, you want to wash your hair, but after that you're pretty much leaving it alone and letting it do its own thing. I love freeform locks. I love all locks, to be honest. If you ever seen people with like those ginormous Congo locks and stuff like that, those are freeform locks. People with freeform locks, although they don't retwist their hair, they do separate their locks. So you're not just like not doing anything with your hair. Obviously you may separate your hair, combine your hair, morphing it basically into whatever you want it to be. The next form of traditional locks are semi-freeform locks. As the name suggests, semi-freeform locks, they are like freeform locks, but you're retwisting it to the root. So the way I look at semi-freeform locks, when with your lock journey you allow your locks maybe like 4 to 6 to 8 months before you go ahead and retwist, just so that you can get that nice thick full new growth in, which is what would make it semi-freeform, because you're allowing your hair to grow out. You're not manipulating it as much, but at the same time you are retwisting and you are manipulating the root at some point. You're also going to notice that if you take a look at the roots of someone's hair, you're going to notice that you're not going to be able to see the parts in someone's hair when they have semi-freeform locks, because they do allow that much time before they go ahead and retwist their hair at all. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. I'm going to go ahead and put up some photos so that you can see what I'm talking about. So the third type of locks I'm going to be talking about are, again, traditional locks, but they are more so manipulated locks. So you'll notice in manipulated locks, you will be able to see the parts in someone's hair. Like, you know, you're kind of able to see the parts in my hair. However, I did just, you know, do my hair last week. But with manipulated locks, you'll definitely get your hair done a lot more. People with manipulated locks take a lot more frequent trips to the salons to get their hair done. I would say manipulated locks are, you know, a lot more expensive, just because you are paying someone else, or, you know, you're doing it yourself, but you are buying products more often because you're doing your hair more often. So you're either going to the shop and paying for your hair to be washed, retwisted, and styled. The longer, the more thick your hair is, of course, it's going to be a lot more expensive. For myself, I would consider myself in between semi-freeform locks and manipulated locks on the spectrum, simply because I have moments where if I have a lot going on, I'm doing just a lot more, then, you know, I'm going to the shop to get my hair done, or I'm doing my hair myself, I'm styling it, and, you know, you will be able to see the parts in my hair. Like this year, there was a point in time where I didn't retwist my hair for like 4 or 5 months, and you can clearly see like the really thick new growth in my hair. You couldn't see my parts at all, and I was just letting it chill. Like, I was letting the frizz hang out. I didn't care. So, you know, it all depends on you. You don't have to be an exact lock type. With semi-freeform locks or manipulated locks, they pretty much go hand in hand. It just depends on how, you know, you're maintaining your hair, how long you're waiting between each retwist, and, you know, how your hair is looking. With semi-freeform and manipulated locks, they can be $100 or more just to start. And I feel like it depends on how long your hair is before starting locks, how the price would be, but it can vary. So it just depends. You have to do your research, go through different shops, see their prices and stuff like that. Some people can be cheaper, you never know. Or if you have a family friend or something like that that can do locks for you, they more than likely will charge you a lot less to start your locks. Or, you know, you can look up a couple YouTube videos and figure it out yourself how to start your locks. It's really not that difficult. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, to start dreadlocks, it's really not that hard. The only hard part would be if you know for a fact you want your hair to look a certain way, so you're trying, you know, your best to make your hair look a certain way. And when you're starting your locks, as it's growing out, if it's not looking the way you want it to look, it can be difficult, it can be frustrating, but it's okay. At the end of the day, locks are, you know, not that difficult to start, and anyone can honestly do it. All you have to do is learn. All you have to do is do your research. The cons with traditional locks, there really aren't that many. I would say, you know, you're limited in the styles that you can do. Don't get me wrong, there are 1,000,001 styles that you can do for those kind of locks. Depending on the size of your locks, I would say my locks are about, some are a little bit bigger or just a little bit smaller than the size of a pencil. You can do a whole lot of styles, but you are limited because you can't do probably as many styles as you would be able to do with loose natural hair, of course. Other cons for traditional locks can be that your hair can get really dry if you're obviously not keeping up with it. You just want to make sure that your hair is moisturized, because that will ensure that it will grow and remain healthy. Like I said before, traditional locks can be done by almost anyone. However, if you're looking for like precision and a certain size with your locks, I do recommend going to a salon, going to a specialist, just if you're looking for a certain type of look. Also, for traditional locks, unlike Sisterlocks, your hair does have to be completely natural, 100% natural, in order for you to start them. Okay, so the last type of locks I'm going to be talking about are braid locks. And I debated on even putting these in a category. Braid locks can end up looking just like traditional locks. However, it can take a while for the braid pattern in the lock to disappear and like, you know, like mat up and to completely turn into a regular lock. There's not much to say about braid locks. It's honestly pretty much the same as traditional locks, only you're starting your hair with braids and the maintaining process is a little bit different. So now I'm gonna get into the different methods of starting your locks and or, you know, retwisting, maintaining your locks. So to my knowledge, you can do interlocking, which is used with an interlocking tool. A lot of people do start their hair with interlocking, and they do continue to maintain their hair with interlocking. My mom started my hair and her own hair with comb coils. We maintain our hair now by palm rolling. We've always done that. We've never done anything different. I like the palm roll method. You shouldn't be retwisting your hair at the root way too tight. You'll know if it's too tight because it'll be uncomfortable. So, you know, if you're palm rolling your hair, just make sure that it's not too tight. Traditional locks can be started with interlocking or comb coils, or, you know, you can do braid locks, which obviously are started with braids. Sisterlocks are done by a specialist, like a specialist in Sisterlocks, and it's a lot longer of a process as well. If you do have locks, I suggest you try your best to learn as much about your hair as possible and learn different styles you can do, learn about the products that work the best for you, and learn what styles look good with your locks. You know, depending on your length, your styles are going to look completely different. So just a little recap for everything that we've talked about today. We have Sisterlocks, we have traditional locks, which are freeform locks, semi-freeform or manipulated locks, and we have braid locks. For starting, you can do comb coils or interlocking or braids. If there are other methods, please let me know down below. Also, different patterns and parting systems that you can do for your locks as well. I believe my locks are in a more brick pattern. My mom didn't do like a certain system. She literally just retwisted my hair into little blocks, you know what I mean? You can look up the different parting systems if you're looking for a certain way for your hair to be parted. Okay everyone, that is the end of the video. I really hope that you were able to learn something from this video, of course. I honestly think that it's so cool that we as dreadheads, like, we have so many options as to what style of locks we would like to do. You know, it's like you can have the tiniest locks or you can have the largest locks. Regardless, you are still a part of a lock community, a huge community of people that are just so cool because we're all on the same journey. And yeah, I just love locks. I love my hair. There's just so much more to locks than people know, so I thought I would be able to share some information with you guys that I myself have just recently learned, and you know, that I've learned throughout my journey and everything. If there are other lock videos that you would like to see from me, please feel free to leave down your suggestions in the comments below. I love you guys so much. I really appreciate all of your support as always, and make sure you stay blessed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye y'all.